This is the first snow. It is very beautiful. Everything becomes white. So if we think about when we practice Dhamma, it's like snow cooling the heart and covering everything. Whatever suffering we bring to the present moment, the Dhamma snow will heal it, will make it quiet and peaceful. This happens when we sit with the silence of the mind. But the world is so busy. It's so lovely when the snow comes, everybody disappears. But our Dhamma work is enhanced by being close to nature. More and more I realize that we don't need to do special things to understand the Dhamma. The most special thing we can do is be present, to be aware in this moment, and to listen what is happening inside. We are always seeking Buddha, all of us seeking Buddha. Where is Buddha? Where is Buddha? We look for Buddha out in the world, but here in the monastery we find Buddha in the heart. And this is a difficult message for many people to understand. Usually when somebody has suffering, they understand it. If you have no suffering, there's no enlightenment. There's no Dhamma snow without suffering, because all the senses become activated and looking for the objects of pleasure, the experiences that will make us feel happy. Here, we take care day by day. We do the same thing most days, whatever routine there is, and then our robes, we have to keep them whole. If there's a hole, we don't want to leave a hole, we have to keep it whole. Whole with a W, it means together, united, like no hole, no hole. Whole is healthy. Healthy with a W. English has these interesting ways of spelling. Healthy is pronounced H-E-A-L-T-H-Y, and whole is H-O-L-E. But if you make a W with whole, it means there is no whole. But if you make a W with healthy, we don't have such a word. So healthy by itself is wonderful, but wonderful has a W. So maybe healthy with a W is wonderful health. And this Dhamma gives us a wonderful health, it's peace. It's very difficult to understand that kind of peace when we try to impose on conditions our desire for things to change. Because everything is always changing. But if we don't like the way it's changing, we hold it in an unhealthy way. I want something to change. I want the sun to shine. Why? Nature has given us this. It's very beautiful. Of course, we don't have to drive very far. You have good winter tires. So the Dhamma highway is full of obstacles because that's the suffering. We get stuck And there's nothing wrong with being stuck. We're not perfect. And we learn by being stuck and figuring out how to get unstuck, how to fix the hole in the road. Then once this is fixed, then we fix whatever is not working in the place here, in this sanctuary. It's a place that is meant to be a place of peace. But if we're not peaceful ourselves, there will be no peace here. So this is why if we try to change conditions on the outside, but inside we have not been able to bring the Dhamma to the present moment, then no matter what we do outside of ourselves, we cannot find peace there. We must always look at the condition of the mind, at the condition of the heart. So life is full of change. And when we're small children, it's very easy for us to be placated, comforted by our parents. We get candy and nice toys to play with and go on a trip, go to the playground. Here, children come and they see a little boy that comes and sees the snake, likes to play with the snake. I remember the squirrels as a kid, feeding the squirrels. But as we get older, it's not enough for us to play. We start to have relationships, friendships. Sometimes in school, people are not nice to us. Then we get upset, we go home, Mommy, Mommy, help me. But as adults, when conditions in the world are not pleasant, not friendly, people do unwholesome things, try to cheat us, or don't agree with us, or don't treat us very well. We can't go to Mommy, Mommy, make it good. So that then the Buddha is like our mother. The Buddha is like our father. And we are to each other like mothers. We don't have our mothers here. So if we fall sick or we have a problem, we have to rely on each other. And this is called Kalyanamitta. Kalyanamitta is a special kind of friend. It's a Dhamma friend. Means spiritual. So the spiritual friend does not ask, you be nice to me, or else I won't be your friend. But if there's some kind of disagreement, we try to find out the origin of it. Disagreement means dukkha, or suffering. So we try to investigate what's wrong, what have I done? Instead of blaming, we try to look at our own conduct. When we behave in this way, no matter how fractured, no matter how broken or torn the fabric of our community is, if we work together in a way that we don't look for the origin of our problem in someone else or in the conditions here, but we look at the condition of our mind. Why are we not peaceful? What is the real reason that there is no peace here? And we don't have toys to play with, really. We play with the stones. We make the garden beautiful. We have people coming and helping in the garden if we are not able to plant or weed, more likely. Other people help us, but no one outside can seed this garden in this heart. This is our responsibility. So when there is something wrong, if we blame another person or blame the world, then we're not following the Dhamma. We're not able to be with conditions in a way that leads to the ending of suffering. We are caught up, lost in the ego wanting to change conditions rather than listening in the silence of the heart to see where is the true peace. Where is the Dhamma rain that will nourish the flowers of the heart? Where is that? That's why this meditation practice is so important. This is a time when we sit with ourselves. I'm not listening to your mind. It's impossible. And we cannot wake up to the truth of the Dhamma through someone else, but only through studying and investigating our own condition. So the way that we are kalyanamitta to each other is we encourage each other by, please forgive me if I have hurt you. We take responsibility and we look for the origin of the suffering here, not outside. The world might be difficult. People bring food that we can't eat because tummy is not digesting well. Yes, so we don't get what we want, but there's always enough that we don't go hungry. And many years ago when I was a young nun, I didn't have food every day that I could eat, like a proper meal. Usually I had a piece of bread in the morning. But then if no one came to offer the meal, I went hungry. And sometimes I did. And I remember once being discouraged. So discouraged, I sat in front of my shrine and I cried. And then I felt, I can't live this life. It's too hard, I'm so hungry. Then I realized, I'm not really that hungry. It's just the mind creating this feeling like people don't want to feed, or people forgot they were supposed to come, they forgot to bring the dana. And so I feel like I've been forgotten. So it's really the ego that was hungry, not the belly, the mind. The akusala in the mind was hungry. And this had such an influence on the heart that I would sit in front of my shrine and cry. But then I remembered my vow. When I became a nun, I took a lifetime vow. For life, I'm going to do this. So how can I complain to the Buddha, you didn't feed me? My father, mother, you didn't feed me. The Buddha did feed me a very big teaching that when we have these feelings of pain in the body, or these ideas that we didn't get enough, or someone wasn't nice to me, or they didn't fulfill their promise and now I didn't get my meal, it's an ego, it's an I, it's a mind that is stuck in blaming and shaming ourselves. We're not being a true friend to ourselves in that moment. But if we listen to that, like a crying voice, we're like a small child that has no Dhamma. But we know the path of truth. So immediately I sat up, wiped my eyes, and thought to myself, I don't need to eat today. I'm fine. This is just crybaby. Crybaby is like a small child. And Buddha gave me big teaching on that day. I will never forget it. So even if I have to be hungry, even if I have to die, I'd like to die like this. But I trust, I have faith. Somebody will feed me. Tomorrow someone will come. And they did. But for us to lose our faith and trust in the goodness, in the kindness of other people, This is what we must not lose. And to lose that is to lose the path. So even if the world is not producing what we actually need, that's the time when we can be a good friend to ourselves and not expect that things have to be a certain way, that other people have to behave the way we want them to. But to look at the condition of this wanting mind and to bring peace to it by being kind, compassionate, patient, forgiving, and look at the goodness that we have. So many years, how many thousands of meals I have received from people just living like this. We're so blessed. Not only do they bring food, people bring robes, they build monasteries. We are deeply blessed. But you don't have to be a nun to know that. Even if you are living in a noisy part of the city and don't have many friends, but you have the Dhamma and you have this breath and this body and this lifetime and this opportunity to follow the teachings of the Buddha, to develop the parami, and to notice the origin of suffering, to bring the mind to the causes of that suffering, is to know suffering and its ending already. Because once we know suffering, we know anicca, dukkha, anatta. What else is there to support our awakening but those kind of insights? Then suffering is actually our teacher. And if we remember that, then we won't suffer. Once we know dukkha as dukkha instead of a problem, that is the path. That's what I learned on that day. I couldn't quite put it into words, but I knew that it was like a turning point, very special. To be a nun alone in the world, not in a Buddhist country, was challenging. But I was so blessed because I had good teachers and I had enough faith in my vow and in my commitment that I started to hear, if you stop to meditate on the complaining, on the groaning, on the criticizing, but instead of looking at the problem as something in the world out there, we listen to our own complaining voice. Why? What are the blessings that we have in this moment? We see that this is dukkha right here, and we can end it by knowing it as dukkha. That's it. There's the path. Right then the dukkha stops. Even if it's for a moment, that's a blessed moment. The world doesn't teach us this. The world is just trying to make all conditions perfect. So the world is full of greed, hatred, and delusion. And we are also full of greed, hatred, and delusion, but we have awareness of it. So we don't get tricked as easily by the world. And we move in a different rhythm to the world. We rely on our ability to listen to the desire mind and not follow it. And to be generous to those, even if they criticize us, we can be generous to them. We can be grateful for whatever they have done to help us. Who do we associate with? This is an important thing for us to question. Do we have spiritual friends? Yes. And there are more than I ever thought. There are Dhamma friends everywhere in this world, but they might not even be Buddhists, but they are real Kalyanamitta. So this is another threshold for us to cross, that there is kindness in the world, there's virtue, and people who would give you their life if you were in trouble. They would help you no matter what, if you are rich or poor, educated, uneducated, young or old. They don't care, but they are a friend. And there are people like that who come here and help us. They don't care what kind of work there is to do, they just come and help. So that's true friendship. And if we can be that kind of friend to each other, that's what makes a sangha, a true sangha, a community in the Noble Eightfold Path. That's what we're trying to do here. And long may we be able to do this work for the sake of future generations, this generation and those to come. Thank you all for being here.